Welcome to the Mindset Architect Podcast, where it's all about creating the life you want, the business you want, and making a real difference. Join us in unlocking the code to true success. And now your host, Tony Caliendo, Master Coach with ReThink Coaching.
Welcome to the Mindset Architect Podcast, episode number 123. I'm Tony Caliendo, Master Coach here at ReThink Coaching. And as always, I want to thank you for your time. Time truly is our greatest asset. And the fact that you're willing to share your time with me truly does mean a great deal. So here we are, team. Some of you will probably be listening to this after the new year. And I want to talk about one of my favorite quotes that has come up lately and reminded me this is really a good season for us to have the conversation. And the quote, I believe, was by John Burroughs, "Leap and the net will appear." And I'm sitting here reflecting just not only for you, but for myself that, our business plans, our strategies, our vision for the upcoming year can require us just to take a leap of faith and trust that the net will appear to catch you. And I want to preface this by saying no act of irresponsibility, no, just jump in without a plan. However, there are so many times when the world is waiting for you to show up and you have to take that leap of faith and step into it and know that something will be there to catch you. So I love that quote, and I want to talk a little bit about it as we move into a new year, as you move into a different vision for your business, as you move into using a new business plan, and as it's time to take all of the thoughts and strategies and put them into action in your everyday life. So the number one thing that keeps us a lot of times from taking action is this myth of readiness. You keep waiting to be ready, but readiness is a feeling, not a prerequisite. So I want to say this. I've watched a lot of entrepreneurs, executives, human beings get stuck in the mode of I'm getting ready to get ready to get ready, and they never get ready and they never do anything. And they stay in this loop and they stay stuck. And we want to wait, right? Most people delay action until the fear dissipates or disappears. And a lot of times that doesn't happen because there's always a semblance of fear when we're doing something different. Fear is a signal that you're actually stretching into growth. It can keep you from taking action because of the myth of readiness, yet it's actually a great signal to you that you're ready to experience growth. If readiness were required, very few meaningful goals would have ever been met or pursued. I can't think of a time, when we decided to launch ReThink Coaching and step away from all that we knew in the coaching world. And there were some moments of doubt. There were some moments of fear. And the funny thing is I'd been a coach at that time for, 8 or 9 years. So it wasn't like I was really doing anything different. Yet I got in my own way of wanting to be ready, to be ready, to be ready. And finally, we realized that it was okay just to take the leap of faith. And that is how we achieved the goals that we've achieved, is because we actually just stepped into it. Did we know if ReThink Coaching was going to make it? No. Most new companies don't survive past 3 years. Here we are we'll be on year 7. And it's a testament to sometimes you've got the plan and you just need to take that step. Know that the leap isn't reckless. It's usually just the first honest move that you need to make. Now I'm going to say this, the leap isn't reckless if you have a plan. And most things that we're looking to strive for in business and life should have some skeleton of a plan before we just leap in. So I just want to make it clear that leap isn't typically reckless. There's usually a plan to support it. Clarity doesn't always come to you before you decide to take movement or make the jump. It does, however, reveal itself throughout your actions. So clarity is a great thing to have. And a lot of times until we take the action, until we start to see that our thoughts and our strategies start to work, the clarity will reveal itself. And that's part of the myth of readiness. We want to be crystal clear on exactly what's going to happen, how the reaction is going to be, what our audience is going to say or do, who's going to buy our product. And that clarity sometimes has to wait until you've actually taken that first step. Number two thing is the net rarely appears first, but gosh, wouldn't that be a great thing if we saw this safety net on the other side of what was making us uncomfortable? And that's not how it works. I always like to think that the universe, God, whatever you believe in, is there. The net is there. You may just not see it. And it's a test to see how committed you are to the new direction, vision, or strategy. Because our thinking is wired for safety and not always expansion, it can challenge you to want to see some safety on the other side. The mind would like to have as much proof as it can before it stops holding you back, yet that's not always going to be possible. Sometimes you don't know what the result is going to be. You're forecasting and you're predicting and you're basing it on some past performance, yet sometimes there's just not full proof before you decide to take the leap. Growth requires us to act sometimes without full information. I'm going to say that again. I don't ever want to take action without a plan or without a strategy, right? But the information I don't have a lot of time is what's the result going to be? It's speculation. Our mind would love to have full information. That's just not typically how it works. The net will be formed through decisions, conversations, and action. And I think that's really important to know that, while you're taking that leap, the net is coming together to grab you. So the net rarely appears first. Just keep that in mind. Sometimes we can't see it, yet we have to have that faith that it's there. The number three thing is faith is not blind, yet it's built on evidence. I want you to think about that. Faith is not blind. It's built on evidence. Faith isn't hope without logic. It's trust based on past resilience. So the example I used about ReThink coaching, I had many years of coaching under my belt. I had no reason to believe that because I disassociated with an organization and started my own, that my coaching skills would go away. That all of the knowledge that I had accumulated over the years to become a really strong coach was going to disappear. I already knew that I had survived and grown as a coach. So just know that sometimes you have to look backward to find the evidence you need to move forward. So you've already survived hard seasons. I don't know any entrepreneur, any leader, any human being that hasn't survived challenging seasons. It's how we grow in life, and it's how we can achieve and stretch to be the best versions of us. You've already figured things out. You just need to take action. The real evidence is really found in your track record. So that's when I say you have to look backwards sometimes to move forward, not your current doubt. So think about that. The evidence is in your track record, not in your doubt. If we use the doubt as evidence, we're never going to take action. Yet if we look at our track record and say, oh my gosh, I've stumbled, but I've never failed. Here I am. I mean, I've failed, but I've survived. That's the track record I want to look at. I don't want to declare my new current doubt as my current track record. That's just a moment or a phase that you're in that's going to pass as soon as you take action. Faith is remembering who you've been, not predicting every outcome. Again, you got to lean in and bet on yourself. I always ask a client when they're willing to take a big step with a significant goal, whether it's achieve more income, grow their business, add members to their team, change careers, sell their business, whatever it is, are you willing to bet on you? Because if you're not willing to bet on you based on your past performance and successes, nobody is going to be able to or willing to bet on you. We've already handled the situations in life that have made us have challenges. This can be no different. Number 4, this is what I love, right? The net doesn't always appear in front of you. And know that number 4 is most nets are built mid-air. I love this. Support doesn't show up until movement creates visibility. Why would there be a net to catch you if you're not taking motion or not taking action? There's no need for it. So God, the universe, whatever you believe in, is waiting for you to take action. And when you take that leap and you're in mid-air, that's when most nets start getting built, because it's like, oh my gosh, you're starting to do something. Let's figure this out. Opportunities respond to momentum. Help appears when others see you're committed. Confidence is a byproduct of action, not a prerequisite. And the leap signals seriousness to the world. I want you to think about that. These are all things that starts to have, I think it's, what is it, in the Alchemist, right? The universe is conspiring. And I believe that to be true when we are looking at the net being built in midair. The universe is always conspiring in your favor. It's conspiring to what you want, what you do, the actions you take, the thoughts you have. So that net can start to be built only when you decide to take action. And I love that opportunities, they really do respond to momentum. They show up. I just got done reading a great book by Anna Garten, and I don't want to get the title wrong, but it's about being prepared in luck. And I think that's always important to make sure that we have been prepared and ready, but you have to take action and momentum. I wanted to get this right. Anna Garten's book is called Be Ready When the Luck Happens. And I think that's a lot of what I'm speaking to here is that net will be built midair. Yet if you're ready when the luck happens, that you will uncover the luck. Luck doesn't typically come to people who are just stagnant or not taking action. Number 5, the cost of not leaping is higher than the risk. Think about that, right? Staying put feels really safe. I'll admit that it was really a feeling of fear and scared when we decided to take the leap into ReThink coaching. Had I stayed back, I was with a great company. Had I stayed back, I wouldn't have grown to the person I am today. I wouldn't have had the opportunities that I've had today. I most likely would not have ventured into writing a book like I did today. So staying put does feel safer, but it can quietly erode certainty and self-trust. Remember, if you're not willing to bet on you, who is going to bet on you? So that self-trust has to be built to be comfortable betting on yourself. The thing I know about not taking the leap and feeling safe and letting your brain seduce you into comfort and certainty is that you will have regret, and regret compounds over time. Inaction reinforces self-doubt. So if you're full of self-doubt, sometimes just take a step forward. That's all that you need to do. The real danger is not in failure, it's in stagnation. I've been in jobs, I've been at a different coaching company, I've been in different organizations, and there comes a time when you need to take a leap forward to do something else. And if you don't, you do become stagnant. You become stuck. And that is really one of the higher costs of not taking the risk. Know this, that taking that risk and taking that leap, right? Not taking it is higher than risk. However, momentum is harder to rebuild than confidence. I know for a lot of the clients that the privilege of coaching, we talk about staying in momentum. Even in times like over the holidays, if you're going to take a 2-week vacation, if you're doing something, do something every day that keeps you in momentum, because it's harder to start rebuilding that momentum over once you stop. So that's also a cost of not leaping into the unknown. The riskiest move is choosing comfort over calling. I had a real calling to do ReThink coaching. I had a real calling to write a book. And that was risky. However, if I would have chose comfort over that, that would have been riskier and put my future at risk. The number 6 thing is the right leap is not more. And this is really important. The right leap is not just about doing more. It's about doing the right more. It's not about reckless action. Remember, I said that from the beginning. I don't believe in just taking a leap with no plan, no thoughts, no vision, no strategies. It's not about taking reckless action. It's actually about taking aligned action. And when you're doing the right more as maybe one of your leaps, then it's in alignment with who you are, your goals, your values, and will help guide you. The other thing I love about focusing on making sure that the leap is the right more is it requires fewer, braver moves. When you feel so congruent with something, it's easier to take the leap. When it resonates in your soul, when it is in alignment with your business values, it is so much easier to take the leap. And a lot of times it requires fewer, braver moves. It doesn't feel as scared or as fearful as when you're doing the right more moves. The leap should be values aligned, not ego driven. That's really important. Sometimes a client will set a goal and I'll ask them, what's the purpose of this? Why do you want to do this? Well, I want to be the number one team. I want to be in the top three. I want to be, and for me, there was a while when I was really focused on becoming a New York Times bestselling author. And the real goal should be in alignment with your values. And so is it really about being the number one team, or is it about helping the people on your team or helping the people that you serve at a very high level? And that actually moves you to being the number one team or the number one organization. I think it's really important to keep our ego in check and really look at what is the true intention of this leap that's going to take you to another level. The other thing about this is be really clear on the direction you're going and the commitment it's going to take to get to the other side. That to me is critical. Another consideration about taking a leap, and this is maybe you might be at a place in your business where you've accumulated more and you're ready to let some of that go to make space for new things. And your leap may be to downsize. Your leap may be to stop doing things that no longer serve you or that are no longer important to you, yet it feels scary because those are the things that have brought you success in the past. So your leap could be not about more. It could be truly about doing the right more and letting go of the wrong more, those activities you've been doing for the sake of doing them or out of habit or just because, and letting that go. That's a leap as well. Then that will appear faster to you though, when the leap is intentional. Sometimes as a coach, I want to just kind of shove you off and have you go do what you need to do. Yet you have to be intentional about the leap that you're going to take. And you might have to borrow my belief or somebody else's belief before you take that leap, yet have it be intentional. I want you to ask yourself, if you made one bold move this year, one leap, which one would change everything? What is the leap that you need to take this year to achieve the goals that you want to achieve? The number 7 thing is, it's a new year, same truth, right? Certainty is created, not found. One of the best things that you can do is create certainty, becoming crystal clear on what it is you're going to do and why you're taking the leap. Vision requires faith before results. Certainty follows commitment. Every meaningful chapter you have in your life, in your business, started with some type of a leap. The leap out of high school to decide to go to college, to go get a vocation, to get married, to have a kid. Those are all examples of leaps. To take the promotion, to start your own business. Those are all examples of taking a leap. Every meaningful chapter you've had in your life happened because you made a decision. Also know, if you wait for the net to appear, you're robbing yourself of your future. Cannot stress that enough. I truly do believe that we have to take these leaps if we're going to look at changing our existence and making a bigger impact on the world, on your life, on your business, on your family. As you step into the new year, don't ask yourself if you're ready. Ask yourself if you're willing. The leap you're avoiding may be the very thing that builds the net beneath you. I want you to really think about that. As you step into the new year, don't ask yourself if you're ready. Ask yourself if you're willing. This is that part where you're willing to bet on you and take the risk and trust that what you have done is going to bring you to this success. It just requires you taking that leap of faith. So again, favorite quote. It really does challenge how we look at things is if you take the leap, the net will appear. May not be there at first, but it'll show up. Here we go, team, on to a new great year. And I want you to experience phenomenal things in your future. Really step back and assess if you have a plan, that plan into your future is your leap. That business plan, that life plan, that vision that you have is your leap. Are you willing to take it and know that when you step off into the unknown, that that the net will be there to catch you? I promise it is. You might free fall for a minute. And, I always laugh and say, hey, that's where you're going to grow, is when you're free falling. Yet what I do know is the net always appears. All right, team, if you need anything at all, please reach out to me. Please really stay committed to the decisions you made in 2025 to grow in 2026. It's your leap. It is what is going to help you with your next great chapter. Take care, and we will talk to you guys in a week. If you enjoyed listening to this podcast, you must come check out the Mindset Architect Group Coaching Program. It's our monthly program where we explore the power of your mindset, help you identify what you truly want in business and life, and then help you reach those goals. Come check us out at rethinkcoaching.com/group-program. That's rethinkcoaching.com/group-program. We'll see you there.